Um,
Weeding can be a problem if you did not manage it well, if you did not plan well. We have lost a lot of investment because of poor planning. I'm speaking about weeding today because this is January, and most in January and February, a lot of farmers are doing their business of weeding. Now, because of poor planning and other reasons that makes our farmers fail to manage their fields, I am here to offer a little bit of advice. In the first place, I'll tell you this. For any farm to do well, it is what you inspect, not what you expect. No, I'll repeat that one. For any farm to do well and give you more profit, it is what you inspect, not what you expect. No. The weeds can bring a lot of problems in any field. Number one, they compete with the crop with water. They compete with the crop with all nutrients. They compete with the crop with the sunlight. As we all know, every plant needs enough or sufficient light for it to make its own food. Remember the photosynthesis we learned in grade 6, so that it stores for itself. However, weeds, they come to disturb our crop. We plant our crop in designated areas, not everywhere, where we want them to perform well. So if we did not plan well on weeding, then we will find a very big problem. Now, there are so many types of weeding that we can do. Others, they use the herbicide. Others, they use manual. Others, they use biological control. Others, they use other management issues like mulching to suppress the weeds. Others, they do intercropping with the crop cover that makes the field to be able for them to be able to control the weeds. Now, today I want to talk about more about the herbicides. Herbicides are the chemicals that we apply to control the weeds. Now, there are in two types. There are those that are selective and those that are non-selective. Let's talk about the selective. The selective herbicides are the chemicals we use to control the weeds in the specific type of the crop you have grown. For example, there are chemicals that are used to control weeds in maize field. That will mean you do not have to mix the crop where you have put maize and the groundnuts, or maize with beans, or maize with soya beans. If you use that kind of a chemical, then the other crop, other than that one which is tolerating, will die. Another example is in soya beans. Like you can see, the field is quite clean. It is nice because we used the selective type of the one which just leaves the soya beans alone. So we can use that kind of herbicides to control the weeds in our fields. The other one is the non-selective. The non-selective does not choose. It kills any plant that is green. Anything which is green, it goes in the system and destroys it. So those kind of herbicides, we use them before or immediately after planting. If I make the lines where I want to plant, then I plant. Then within 3 to 5 days, I have to go with my sprayer and apply those. Meaning anything it will come in contact with which is green will have to go. So that one will help us control the weeds in our fields. Now, there are also other type of weeding which is mechanical, using the oil or any other tool that you may want to use. That one is also okay. However, there are so many inconveniences that we are seeing that is drawing us back a lot. One of them is the weather. When it rains, we cannot do the work well, because in some areas it is sandy, in some areas it is clay, so like here. the soil will be touchy, will be sticking on your tools that you are using. Sometimes even the hired labor that we highly depend on, they may trick us. They may not come to the field and do the weeding. Others, they will just send the money. Some farmers just send the money. Believe you me, if you are a farmer and you want to make the profit, please, this is not the time for you to start visiting your relatives. They may not have the transport to give you back so that you go and inspect. If you have the field somewhere else and you are staying somewhere else, for the period of weeding, please, I encourage you to shift and go to the farm, even for 1 week, go and control those weeds while we are still having time. We do receive sufficient rainfall usually in Zambia in January or February. But that being the case, that's the development stage of any crop that has been planted. So we do not want to miss that. And if we miss the little nutrients that are remaining there, will be suppressed or will be used by the weeds which we are not interested in. So we need to make a good plan and use the effective way of weeding our fields in time, so that in turn the crop will give us the big yields. For other details, like I always say, check the number on top and let's talk and let's go farmers. It's a beautiful day. I'm Sondai Doadi. Thank you.